The ancient Egyptians built some of the most impressive structures in history. For thousands of years, the Egyptian pyramids have been a mystery. The Great Pyramid of Giza is one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and for a good reason. It's an incredible feat of engineering that has stood the test of time. This pyramid has been a source of mystery for centuries. In this video, I'm going to explore the mystery behind the Great Pyramid of Giza and the Egyptian pyramids and how they were constructed. So join me as I explore the Great Pyramid of Giza. The Great Pyramid of Giza is the largest Egyptian pyramid and the tomb of 4th dynasty pharaoh Khufu, built in the 26th century BC during the period of around 27 years. It's estimated that it took over 20 years to build and required the labor of over 100,000 workers, standing as both an architectural marvel as well as the oldest of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and the only one to remain largely intact. As part of the Giza Pyramid Complex, it borders present-day Giza in Greater Cairo, Egypt. Initially standing at 146.6 meters, the Great Pyramid was the tallest man-made structure in the world for more than 3,800 years. At its base, the Great Pyramid covers 13 acres and is surrounded by a complex of smaller pyramids, temples, and tombs known as the Giza Necropolis. Scholars believe that the pyramid was built as a tomb for 4th dynasty Egyptian pharaoh Khufu and was constructed over a 20-year period. Excavations at Giza have revealed that the pyramid complex was surrounded by a wall, which may have served to protect it from flooding. The Great Pyramid was built on a rocky outcropping that rises above the surrounding desert. The pyramid is thought to have been originally coated with white limestone, which would have given it a shining appearance. The first known reference to the Great Pyramid was made by a Greek historian, Herodotus, who described it as a tomb erected by Egyptian king Cheops. The Greek historian geographer Strabo also wrote of the pyramid, calling it a remarkable monument. Arab travelers who visited Egypt in the Middle Ages also wrote of the Great Pyramid. One of the earliest descriptions was made by Egyptian historian Al-Makrizi, who wrote that the pyramid was the tomb of King Khufu. The Great Pyramid has been a popular tourist destination since the early 19th century. It is one of Egypt's most recognizable landmarks and receives millions of visitors each year. The site is also home to the Great Sphinx, which stands near the entrance to the Great Pyramid Complex. The Great Pyramid was built by quarrying an estimated 2 million large blocks, weighing 6 million tons in total. The majority of the stones are not uniform in size or shape and are only roughly dressed. The outside layers were bound together by mortar, primarily local limestone from the Giza Plateau, was used with other blocks imported by boat down the Nile, such as white limestone from Tura for the casting and granite block from Aswan, weighing up to 80 tons for the king's chamber structure. There are 3 known chambers in the Great Pyramid. The lowest was cut into the bedrock upon which the pyramid was built, but remained unfinished, the so-called Queen's Chamber and the King's Chamber. The latter contains a granite sarcophagus that many believe to be that of Khufu. There is also evidence for a 4th chamber located above the King's Chamber, known as the Grand Gallery. This chamber may have been intended for use as a sadab or shrine for the statue of Khufu. Khufu's vizier, Hemunu, also called Hammon, is believed by some to be the architect of the Great Pyramid. Many varying scientific alternative hypotheses attempt to explain the exact construction technique. These include the use of external ramp, internal ramps, sleds and rollers, pulleys and levers, or even alien intervention. The popular belief that slaves were used in the construction of the Great Pyramid is unsupported by architectural evidence. The Great Pyramid of Giza was not built as a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu. If the Great Pyramid of Giza wasn't built as a tomb, what was it originally intended for? The Great Pyramid of Giza was actually built as a temple to the Egyptian god Ra, and it wasn't until after Khufu's death that it was turned into a tomb. The evidence for this comes from the fact that the Great Pyramid doesn't have any burial chambers inside of it. If it had been intended as a tomb, there would have been at least one room where Khufu's body could have been laid to rest. Instead, the only chamber inside the Great Pyramid are the Queen's Chamber and the King's Chamber, both of which were built for a different purpose. The Queen's Chamber was likely used as a storage room or a place for ritualistic ceremonies, while the King's Chamber was probably used as a treasury. It wasn't until after Khufu's death that these chambers were turned into tombs for his family members. Some believe that it was an ancient observatory used for tracking the stars. Whatever its original purpose may have been, there is no denying that the Great Pyramid is an incredible feat of engineering. Today, it stands as a testament to the skill and ingenuity of the ancient Egyptians. The Great Pyramid is truly a wonder of the world, and it's no surprise that it continues to fascinate people thousands of years after it was built. Have you ever visited the Great Pyramid? Let us know in the comments below, and thanks for watching. I hope you found this video interesting. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. Until next time.